Hi everyone, great to see you. 你们好吗? How are you? Thank you for coming onto this tour. I want to especially thank you, all of you guys who have motivated me and encouraged me in doing all those tours. Thank you very much. You can see in my background, if you have been to on my other tours, I'm in the Little Rock Village. And just now, I first of all dropped off my children, and then we came back to the village to do the COVID test. We got the notification yesterday afternoon to do another COVID test. So it is still 2 times a week for a small place like this here. And I have told you before that people in big cities, they are tested every day. And yesterday, I confirmed with one of my student kids in school, because I teach in English over the internet. And the boy in high school told me that, yeah, he is tested in school every day. Just imagine that. It has been the routine of Chinese people's daily life. It's really, I would say, the whole shibon of the COVID regulation thing is really dystopian. This is the word I want to use, dystopian. All right, you can see this Little Rock village is located in a hill, embedded into the side of one of the hills here. It is Monday morning here. The sun is beginning to be up and shining for people living at this location, because look, there are some hills around, and the sun is coming right here above. Yeah, you know what? Yesterday afternoon, we got the notifications through the bullhorn. There are some bullhorns mounted at some different locations in this village. Well, in Shanghai, what they do, because I lived in Shanghai for many years, and also in the first half of this year, I lived in Shanghai. And in Shanghai, what they do is some volunteers who work in the community, they will carry a bullhorn to walk around in the neighborhood to inform the inhabitants in the neighborhood for the COVID test. Usually, the neighborhood I lived in has 2,000 people, and usually it takes about 2 hours to 3 hours for them to test everybody. And in those 2 and 3 hours, you will hear the notice from those bullhorns carried by different volunteers every once in a while in 2 and 3 hours for you to do the COVID test. Sometimes kids are studying, and on the internet, the online courses, they just hear it a few times for that. All right, this is a nice spot to see this Little Rock village. The village now has only 60 people. This is what they told me. Only 60 people now live in this village. Well, once the village, in the beginning or before the reform and opening up, saw close to 2,000 people living here. Well, a lot of them are migrant workers who live or have moved to bigger towns and cities. Yeah. Here's what I think about China's neo-modern development. That is, I would say that manpower is really one of the most important resources of China. A lot of people, 1.4 billion, according to the official accounts. I think we will probably very soon be taking over by India, or maybe have already been. You can see a red flag and post in the middle of the view. It is where the office of this village is. There are some, local officers, Communist Party cadres and members who do their job there. Okay, now today we are going back to the first lady we ever interviewed for this series of tours. The 93-year-old lady who has always lived in this village her entire life. Since last interview, her son, who these days actually lives here with her to accompany her and take care of her, actually went to a big city called Suzhou in Jiangsu province for his own medical treatment because he has suffered the lymph tumor problem. And he just went to Suzhou, just came back yesterday. This is him. 一中，可以跟我们的观众打个招呼吗？你好。He just said 你好. The Chinese greeting, 你好. Yeah, he just came back from Suzhou yesterday, and he told me that this time he brought back his electric scooter. He used to use in Suzhou when he lived regularly in Suzhou before this period of the time when he now lives with his mother. And he took the electric scooter back here through the long distance shuttle bus. He put the scooter in the luggage area in the shuttle bus, and he brought it here. It's easier for him to move around, to buy things for himself and for his mother. So now in this building, it is him and his mother who live here. I'm going to show you the surroundings of their home. This is like a shed for them to store like firewood, stubble, some other tools they use for farming. And here you can see this is their building, 3 stories. This is not a very old building. As I told you before, those buildings that look more plain, modern style, were built around 1980s and 1990s. You can see a lot of them here. This one. The lady's son told me that this building actually was built in 1990s, but it has ever been abandoned. That means the family has never lived here since 1990s after it was built. Still in pretty good conditions. So you can see some of the vegetables they grow here. By the way, today is the day, according to Chinese lunar calendar, for the winter to begin. It's the first day of winter, according to Chinese lunar calendar. And 2 days ago, which was Saturday afternoon, I started to feel the cold, right? The cold, temperature dropped a little bit, not dramatically, but so you can feel it. And in this village, you can also see some adobes, a lot of adobes. There's actually a village in this area that I'm going to do some survey about and show you one day in near future, which features all the adobe houses, right? Instead of the black and white buildings you see here, in that village you're going to see the whole, neighborhoods or community with a lot of buildings, but in, mud brick, adobe houses. Are the newer houses built by landowners or the government? John, good to see you again. Those newer houses were built by landowners, by the families here. And I remember last time someone asked if the lady's son and this man who is talking to my wife now owns a property in Suzhou. Look, the lady, 93-year-old, her husband moved a long time ago from here to Suzhou for a job, for Korea. And then his son followed his father's steps to Suzhou. Their family kind of found their second home in Suzhou. And he doesn't actually have a property in Suzhou. The home he now lives with his son in Suzhou is leased. He doesn't own one. So we're going to sit down here and talk more about their life. And here is our longevity goddess, 93-year-old lady. 你好，奶奶，在吃早饭哈。We met her when we came up to her home like 20 minutes ago, when she actually was doing a COVID test with another man who interviewed as the fourth, subject in our series of programs. And at that moment, they both fished out their cigarettes and started smoking. So I took a picture for them when both of them were smoking at the COVID test spots. Quite funny. And we 听不来，你没关系，你管你吃就行了哈。All right, let's see what she is having for her breakfast. 这是豆腐是吧？ Tofu, beans, and vegetables. 泡饭 and salted duck eggs. Salted duck egg. Well, 泡饭 is very common staple in rural China. Also loved by a lot of people who live in the cities, actually, because it's easy to make. All you need to do is just to put your leftover rice in hot water, mix them, and eat instantly. It's so easy and so basic in China's daily life. I mean, yeah, I kind of grew up eating this when I was in Shanghai. It's something people are very familiar with, in China. 泡饭, soaked rice. This is the literal translation of 泡饭, soaked rice. This is her living room. The god of longevity. The forehead is the main feature of the god of longevity. So happy. And he carries a gourd, look, that is tied on this stick. Just like 100 phoenixes and the dragons, surrounding the main dragon and the main phoenix, and a lot of, traditional Chinese paintings. In that case, it's a couple of chubby boys and girls who are coming to pay respect to this man of longevity, the god of longevity. And also pay attention to these two things in the picture. Do you know what they are? A very common auspicious symbol in Chinese culture. Yeah, bats, right. Bats. Simply because bat in Chinese language sounds like another character which means fortune or good luck. Wow, someone dropped a long message in Chinese. Look, the lady in this picture is in the middle, and her son is on the left. She has two sons. She has two sons. And her husband passed away about 3 years ago. Her husband moved to Suzhou a long time ago, and because he lived and worked in Suzhou for so many years, eventually he got Suzhou Hukou, which is one of the two identification statuses you get in China. One is urban Hukou, as opposed to the other that is rural Hukou. And a family who holds urban Hukou gets more benefits in social programs. So now the lady can get 800 yuan per month as pension. And thanks to her husband's, status got in Suzhou, which is a city. Hi, Queen Ariel. You dropped a few long messages in both Chinese and English. I will try to read. All right, I'll try to read later, maybe. I think the tour is supposed to be 1 hour long. It started 10, 15 minutes ago, right? Right, Courtney. The tour is 1 hour long. That's right. So, do drop your questions if you have any. And I actually put down some of the questions asked last time, but I didn't ask for maybe just not noticing or the time limit. I'm going to ask those questions soon. By the way, this lady is my wife. She is originally from this village. She is originally from this village. She grew up here, and we met in Shanghai when she then did her tea business in a small tea shop. 什么东西啊？下巴，他是下巴的，给他看下巴的那个风景。下巴的风景。Guys, this is another village that is near the village we are in now. Actually, my wife is showing the footage of this village to this lady because this lady, she was born and originally came from that village. It's not far at all. Quite similar, right? 几十年都没去了。Oh, the lady said she hasn't been back to this village, which is very close. Yeah, for several decades. In several decades, she hasn't gone back to. That's right, Abe. 你的太太 right? You know Chinese, right? 你的太太 my wife, right? Your wife, or from your perspective. I remember last time someone asked, how has the village changed since she was young? And I remember the lady said it was the number of people. There are only 60 people now, but there used to be hundreds, even more than 1,000 people living here. But let me supplement. Yeah, because I would say, actually, I asked some other old people living in this village the same question, and I got, quite a common answer. That is, for this question, that is the quality of life. Because, here's the point. They used to starve. I mean, their answer is, we no longer need to starve. This is the biggest change because, look, they all have the bitter memories of those lives they had back 30, 40, even earlier, all those many years ago, when they actually starved. They managed to find something to eat, to keep, their health, to keep their even the subsistence. This is her habit, that is to take a cigarette after a meal.他现在一天吃几顿饭？3顿。This lady has 3 meals a day. We have so far interviewed 4 different Nonagenarians. Well, one old man, 90 years old, he has 2 meals a day. Well, the other 3 have 3 meals a day. How old is she? She is 93 years old. CW. Yeah, thank you, Dawn, for answering. We just now brought them a string of bananas and 2 slices of tofu. Tofu is the safest food when you give in a village like this for people to accept readily, because it's easier for people to chew. Right? A lot of people in rural China don't have a good set of teeth. Even the lady's son, who is close to 60 years old, doesn't have good teeth. 这边里面是什么？这里面我看一下。
它里面以前是
里面是个坑啊。
流水的。
下面有个那个吗？
啊，
兰兰，下面这里面是什么？现在
有水的。
有水的。
对。
这个是个坑了。
对。
哇。
一下雨里面就有水的。
哦。
接水的就是。下面有水的。
是吧？
对，接水的。
哦，它水就会渗下来，是吧？
对。
哇。
就是石头蹦出来的。
The house here is attached to the hill. You can see those rocks, and down here you can see a little pool with water. And the lady's son told me that when after rainfall, there's water that percolates down to this pool. Yeah. Okay.来，我们看一下这里，这个我想很好奇啊。十星级文明户。它这个因为我没有看到过这个牌子，其他地方我没看到过。像这个十星级文明户当时评比的时候是怎么得到的呢？能不能讲？
这个要问一中我也不知道
我也不知道。
先等一下，让我讲2句话，好吗？
我常年不在家。
This sign on the door is quite special. 兰兰，稍微让我讲点话，否则的话有点声音干扰我的多了一点。This sign on the door is quite special, so I was asking them how they got this, because I have seen a lot of signs like this on the door of a lot of houses, and they are usually similar. But this one is quite special. It says 10-star rated civility household. Well, this I have never seen before. One of the kind. 10-star rated civility household. And there are 3 items here. Oh, no, sorry, 10 items. Like hygiene, unity, literature, code of conduct, technology, family planning, making money, or let's say getting rid of poverty, or in other words. And here, obligation, law, obedience, and finally morality. 10 stars. I've never seen that. Okay. And the lady's son told me that they actually didn't know how they got it. They don't know how they got it. And I asked similar questions to other households who got their own exemplary merits, and they also kind of didn't know how to answer this question. They just got it. Yeah, Grace. Model family, right? 门口这就忒小了。外面阳光好啊，这个光线也好一点。It's pretty dark inside, so I just suggested them to move outdoor in their breathing spot. Quite nice, in a beautiful background. This is a stand people used to use to put their face towels and basins for like cleaning teeth, face, washing face, yeah, and maybe shaving. There are grocery stores in the village. Yeah, Terry, I think this question was asked before. Yeah, and I put this question down in my notebook. There is no grocery store now in this village. There were like 2 or 3, and they started in 1980s. There's no store anymore now, so people have to go down to the village seat in 10 minutes to 15 minutes on their scooter. But oftentimes, a lot of ladies especially, even relatively younger in 60s and 50s, actually some of them don't know how to ride a bicycle, and let alone an electric scooter. So you do see some people who actually walk up and down. In that case, it takes a 1 hour single way. Yeah, 1 hour single way to go between here and the village seat down at the foot of the village. Does your wife have relatives that are still in the village? No, my wife has one sibling. My wife has one sibling, elder brother, and he now lives in a city in northern Jiangsu province. My wife now doesn't have any close kin family member in this village. Well, maybe you are curious about my wife's parents. My father-in-law fought a long battle of a kidney disease. He used to go to the hospital on his motorcycle to do the treatment 2 times or 3 times a week. And it took a long time for him. After more than a decade, it was hard. A lot of tears and pain for the family. So her father passed away more than 2 years ago. And during all those years, when her father was kind of down and on bed, my mother-in-law attended to him for all those years, really hard. Well, my mother-in-law actually is a very capable and hardworking lady. Now she works in Hangzhou City for a firm, and what she does is to cook, cook for the firm employees. She really enjoys the job she's doing because she likes the atmosphere in her firm, and the people all love her and respect her, and she also is trying her best to make them happy by great food. Yeah, agrarian lifestyle. Yeah.你这次治疗还顺利吧？情况？
我这个要是稳定那个淋巴瘤。
哦。She is still working. I mean, the lady I talked about in the last few minutes was actually my mother-in-law. Well, this is a lady, 93 years old. She doesn't work, but I'm curious about if she still cooks. 还烧菜吗？她现在来了。
啊，不要，他自己烧菜的，
还烧吗？
他生火烧菜
啊，烧的哈。
不要，还好嘛，古堡。
Yeah, she cooks. I mean, this is a quite obvious answer because her son was away for medical treatment for about 10 days. So during which, of course, she cooked, and she cooks. What was her work, Courtney? She never did any job, any proper job. So in that case, she didn't have any career. She stayed in this village all her life, and for so many years that she lived here without her husband's presence, because her husband went out from here to Suzhou to work. Yeah, to develop his career, and then the father also got his children, 2 sons and a daughter, to Suzhou. So Suzhou is now their family's second home. And the lady is originally from another village near here. She moved, she was married to the man, her husband, who is from this village.
他一个人的时候，就早上烧菜、烧饭烧好，然后中午跟晚上的菜哈，一个人的嘛，就放在火冲上炖在那里，就是热的嘛，就一个人就这样吃，不烧不热了。
火冲是吧？火冲我拿过来看看，给他们看一下。
火冲就放在上面哈，热。
来，奶奶拿一下。
有好过。
This is basically a hand warmer. Very common household article for people here. Yeah, here's a ton for you to arrange the ashes and charcoals in the container. And the lady said, actually my wife told me through the mouth of this lady that usually what she does is she cooks something in the morning, and then it's something for the day. For lunch, before lunch, she will keep the food, like the dish, on this thing. Then for lunch, she doesn't need to cook because there's still remaining heat from this for the food. And probably she will also still eat the same food at lunch, at dinner, sorry. Or for convenience. Is this lady a relative? This lady is my wife. Because local people speak a vernacular dialect, hard for me to understand. And my wife is a very, great lady with people skills, especially with the local villagers. So her presence here really helps me, at least for translation and also for connecting better with the local people here. I'm originally from Shanghai. I moved here more than 4 months ago.他这个是围裙了，算是。
带去看嘞，带去看嘞。带去看，好啲白噶，好像好啲人噶。白了，好白了。没过去个啊？没过去个？真怕的，白个，好啲白个，你白个。老早的好像几年火，老早几年火，你看。哎呀，给你打你，专门就给他打你个好成绩。拿你一个白雪公的。
Yes, Abby.
白雪公的扔给他。
那不好哈。
什么不好啊？
他问你这里好不好？
不好。
Yeah, the lady is teasing me by saying, for you, living here is not good. Is it? because you know what? Because they suppose that Shanghai life is much more exciting, much more modern, and why do you come here, right? But of course, for this lady, she is just teasing me. I love living here. For all the, factors around me at this moment, there are a number of reasons for me to move here and enjoy living here. Is there a legally enforced retirement age? Can you keep working for as long as you want to? Sure, Dom. Yeah, people commonly get retired for men 60, for women 55. But for some people who work, for state-owned companies, they can get retired at the age of 50 as a woman. But commonly it's 60 for men and 55 for women. And this lady I told you, she now gets 800 yuan a month for pension. That is much better than most other folks in her age here. The fourth man I interviewed, who is, just totally a farmer status for himself and also for his deceased wife. So in that case, she is utterly a farmer. He gets only 100 yuan when he is 89 years old per month. And when he turns 90, he will get 200 yuan per month. Well, you know what? I also interviewed two other old people. One man, a retired military officer, and also another lady, 93-year-old, a retired teacher. Because those two folks, they have, they did good jobs, right? Like a civil post, job. They now in their retirement get 4,300 yuan a month, which is a far cry from those folks here. Well, this is rural China. Well, in the city, like in Shanghai, those people who are retired now from state-owned companies, or those public servants posts, they get even much better, benefits in social program, right? We know that people who are, just 60 years old, who is now hired back by, a state-owned company, in addition to her pension program, which brings her 8,000 yuan a month. And there are even more according to, the level of your job. Do the older folks interact with the school children? Interact with the school children. I would say how I'm trying to get the tenet of this question. Do older folks interact with the school children? I mean, here they don't live in an area with a school around. Well, in the village seats, I see old people and young people. I don't think they really quite are engaged in a lot of interaction. Because, you know what, kids nowadays, they are quite self-focused. I mean, in China we have the one China, we have the one child policy, one time zone, one China, two systems, and one child. Of course, guys, now people can have 2 children, 3 children, not a problem. the policy officially relaxed in the year 2013. But still a lot of kids, like the Z generation, Y generation, those millennials, and even born after 2000 or later, those kids, actually, I would say most of them are single child, because this is the state policy that ran for so many years, right? I would say after around from 1980s, beginning 1980s, all the way to 2013. A lot of single child. Yeah. A single child usually lives in a much more spoiled condition, because there's excessive attention from parents and grandparents on both sides. Just imagine that. Yeah. I wouldn't say that there's much interaction. Thank you, Laurie. And Laurie, you know what? When I looked back at your comments, yeah, in my previous tours, Laurie, I noticed that you mentioned cotton lady. That is so funny. I mean, maybe now I can come up with a new English idiom to replace as mad as a hatter. I can say as mad as a cotton lady. Thank you, Helen. I would say Chinese people, especially those in the rural areas, vast rural regions of China, they really grit their teeth and have endured a lot in their life.
我问他现在最想去哪里，他说他现在最想就在这里，哪里都不想去。
My wife just asked the lady, where does she want to go most? And she says, I just want to stay here. She actually hasn't been to any other province in China. She has lived here all her life, except for some villages around here. That's it.
有没有亲人的？没亲人去哪里看看的喽？去哪里喽？不行去，不行去。我问他想不想去下坝老家走走看看，他说不想去。
是吗？
我们家在下坝。他妈妈是下坝。
My wife just asked the lady if she wants to go to the village where she was born, Xiaba village. Very close to this village here. I mean, we can offer her a ride, but she said not interested. So funny. No. She...
看佢不做聲，不做事的呗。哎呀，有陣老人家哈，要對個對方就要買啦，佢白利呀，手術了，哈，佢對那個白利呀，我就還買嘅。
给你來個近的，換一個角度。
哎，上班拍那種照片真好看。啊？上班還你看那種照片真平拍，你看下的哈。
你这次见到你儿子了吗？
见到了，我每次去都看，他晚上回来的，回来吃饭的。啊。我收的饭他有吃。
是吧？
听你吧。
This is the lady's second son, the younger son, and he was away for let's say 10 days, and for medical treatment in Suzhou. And I asked him if he met his son in Suzhou, because I supposed maybe he stayed mainly in the hospital. He said he met. And and he also told me last time that his son, only son, is courier. I mean, his job is to deliver online shopping parcels, a courier. And let me tell you that last time when I drove him to the bus station, he told me a little bit about his own life and his son. And he said his son actually had a girlfriend a few years ago. And they actually kept a relationship for maybe 2 years, a steady 2 years. And but of course, they are no longer together. They got, split up. And what happened was before one spring festival, the girlfriend of his son asked this man, if he could give her like 10,000 yuan, 10,000 Chinese RMB yuan for her to go back to the village where she came from, to maybe to buy something for her family. And the man cautiously, gave the young girl 4,000 yuan and told him that maybe the remaining 6,000 yuan I could give you after the Chinese New Year when you came back. Guess what happened? Quite a drama. The girlfriend never came back. She just made away with the 4,000 yuan he gave her, and his son ever lost an unworthy girlfriend. This is what happened. Sometimes, facts don't sound so comfortable, but I like facts. I like to share some of those facts. And actually today we were initially planning to visit another lady who used to have altogether 12 children. In her 80s now, though, not 90s. And but the lady lost 5 children. She now has only 7 children, and not a single child now ever cares coming back to see her. And that is the lady I was talking about, and we planned to visit. But she was not there, and we ended up coming here for another second round of the interview of this lady. Well, actually, when we were planning that, I was talking with my wife about if it was worthy to visit a lady who we heard that led a kind of miserable, but some people would say deserved bad life because nobody cares about her. We talked about this with my wife. I talked about this with my wife, and we finally came to the the decision that I think we should still do it because it's better to show different slices of life and just lend an ear to what people would say. This is so for that lady, we're going to maybe show next time.
上个月回来就是没水，他上那个公共厕所水掉了，那没办法，就跑到山上去拉大便。
这样？
我家没搞那个。
那也没办法。
没有搞那个抽水。
你们家没有抽水马桶的？
没有。因为我们这个本来房子地皮就很紧张，这个外面看见是外面是别人家的，又不好去动别人家的。现在又 几个月都不下雨了，吃的水都勉勉强强，他还要放开公共厕所让你去大便，不可能。
The man said that due to the drought that has lasted quite severely for a few months, there's no water, I mean no constant water from the tap. And he said that last time, in that situation, as there was no water, during her short visit here, his short visit here, he just like a, I mean, he said he defecated just in the wild. I mean, of course, that is quite justifiable, because why? Because there's no plumbing. There's no plumbing in their building. And I asked some other folks living here, some houses, yeah, they have plumbing. Why? Because sometimes, young people who come here to visit, the old, even for very short period of time, like during the Chinese New Year, I would say they can't even stay here a single day without a plumbing. I mean, this is also very justifiable, right? From my personal perspective. So for that, for just a few days of stay for the younger generation, some families now they have a plumbing, but just for that, because in their daily life, the old people, they don't need it. They prefer the traditional, the wooden buckets or the spittoon toilets, which they can also use to take care of their cropland. How could she have so many children with one child policy, Terry? 来，这边有个问题哈，你们可以试着回答一下。这边就是问，中国不是有一个就是独生子女政策吗？那么为什么会生这么多呢？那是因为当时是在独生子女政策之前呀。对呀。So Terry, yeah, here's the answer. I mean, the one-child policy started in China after Mao's era. You can roughly say that it started in 1980s. 1980s. Well, for this lady, come on. Her children were given all way before 1980s. Before 1980s, for sure. Yeah. 要不简单的看一下他住的地方，让他儿子带我，能不能看一下？简单的看一下，简单看一下，转一转。你们这边，比如说，你给我介绍一下，有种了什么吗？
我房间里什么东西都没有。
This is the Adobe stove, Adobe style stove.
你是要去一中房间还是去奶奶？
我当时想说的是奶奶房间。倒也不是说一定要去一中房间了。
那你跟一中说一下了。
一中啊？主要是去你妈妈的房间看一下。
进我妈妈的房间啊？
对，进你妈妈的房间简单看一下。
我妈妈的房间要拿她的钥匙。
我拿钥匙。
我没有。
对。
我没有她的钥匙。
The stairs leading to the second floor are here. Part of the wall of the building is so black due to the Adobe style stove. There's a chimney. What are those stones or boards in the walkway where her son was? I mean, they collect those just in case they need it, maybe for their, big or small construction for something. Yeah. And sometimes they can also put it maybe somewhere to just for them to sit on. A lot of them actually are not really used, but they just collect them because it's not easy to find a flat piece of slate. So when they have it, when they see it, they will bring it and collect it just in case.哎，一中啊，哦，在那边是吧？
这里啊，
哦，我走到这上面去了。
上面是我的，
上面是你的哈？
对你要去看一下也可以。
不用不用。Her son lives here, and the lady lives in these rooms. The certificate of retirement of the lady's husband, that was given in the year 1992. A state-owned company in Suzhou. How sweet. Thank you, Liz, for joining this tour. Here's the bed. So organized. A deck chair. There's a balcony here. Great views and good spots for basking. This is her den. She watches TV here. Some old stuff I'll put here. Like those trunks. These two trunks came to this family with her when she was married to the man here. Sweet potatoes, pumpkins. Does she have a dowry? Yeah, Kearney. the two chests I showed you, the trunks, are some of those dowry items. 好，谢谢。
这是我上面，你去看看。
你的房间？
对。
你的房间的话也不用了吧？
对。
不用了，就下去好了。
好，谢谢。
因为我们时间其实也差不多了。
好。
兰兰，结婚的时候他是几岁啊？什么年龄啊
结婚17岁哈
？18。
18岁结婚。
John, 18 years old when she got married. 18 years old.
那在操作个，那在合作，那在周深了。
In old days, a lot of Chinese girls actually were in a state of being ready for marriage when they were 14 years old.
70多年了，对，刚到嘞。
兰兰，你稍微让一下。
他在这待70多年了。你看到老五也是在那多了。
She likes drinking and smoking. That brings her happiness and console. All right, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the past 1 hour, the visit to this lady's home, and talk with her and her son with the help of my wife. Does she have any hobbies? 老太太有什么特长吗？然后有什么特别的兴趣吗？就除了抽烟喝酒以外。
没有什么兴趣，但是。
打了开了就打吧。
那个？
以前也不打牌。以前那是专门给人家介绍那个。
媒婆。
媒婆。
他以前是媒婆。
是吗？
他以前。
你干啥的都好的。老早去干啥人家做点心哇？做的鸡蛋啦，我干做的鸡蛋啦，你干啥个？
干啥没年轻，1万个3个。1万1人。这样啥个就那个干啥那个经理上开门了女生多，看起来的路这个叫嘞，
So for her hobbies just now, we kind of digged a little bit and got to know that through the lady's son that the lady used to be a pretty good one at tying knots for men and women in this village. She made a few good matches for people here. Do your children understand this dialect now? John, yes, they can understand a little bit. And of course they can understand more and more. But it's still a long way to go. So what do you think, guys? Maybe I should also, right, as I said, show you different slices of life. Even sometimes the stories or those people, for some or for one, don't look so-called attractive or so good, let's say. Yeah, I would like to have your opinion. All right. Thank you, Liz. Are there chickens in this village? Yeah, there are chickens. Some people raise chickens. Usually the common livestock here is chickens, ducks, geese, and pigs.
差不多了。那差不多。这个等候了，好像是，写起来等候了。
他说我小时候，我妈妈把我给别人，他阻止的，他跟他讲不能给别人。
哦，是吧 ？Okay, guys, before we finish, this is something quite something I want to share with you. It's related to my wife. My wife was once given by my mother-in-law out to another family for almost what? So my wife was given as a girl out to another family, almost as that family's bride would be. So then that lady, now sitting right here, persuaded her mother. All right, this is another story. So I will come back to tell a lot more stories about people in this village and about my wife and people here. So thank you very much for today's time. Yeah, living history stories. Thank you, everyone. Before we finish, give you another look at the view, the beautiful view of this village. Thank you again, everyone. You have motivated me and encouraged me a lot. Thanks for your help. See you next time. Bye for now.